This is the final video in the series of modeling my guitar drawing. And back in part one, I started with this image that I created in Flash. And this was the guitar that I wanted to model. And I went through 6 parts of modeling this thing from beginning to end, every step of my somewhat beginner ways in Blender to create this guitar in 3D. And now I've got a couple of renders to show you and a couple of issues to discuss. All right, so here's one render of the guitar, you can see. And all that I've skipped really in this series is setting up some HDR lighting and applying some really simple materials in the node editor, the same materials that I used for modeling the Gibson Les Paul. So I'll just go through some of the renders and I'll talk a little bit about them. All right, I'm pretty happy with how the guitar turned out. It looks like a guitar, a real guitar. A couple of issues here and there, and that is with the sort of faceting in the body. Of course, I modeled this, point by point. And then I had some trouble applying smoothing, and I don't know if it's because this was one big N-gon, and it probably is, and so I haven't really been able to use smoothing on this. If I did it again, when I do it again, I think I will experiment more with the polys and what to do with this top surface and see if I can get smoothing to work a little bit better. In a couple of the earlier videos, I did mess around with the smoothing and with sub Ds, and it was looking better, but I would have had to do some work on it. And again, being somewhat of a beginner, I wasn't certain how to proceed, and I'll keep working on that. I can live with this for the time being. But it's certainly something that I would like to fix up. You can see that the faceting here and in the knobs here, and depending on the angle of the render, you could see it here and here as well. But overall, it doesn't detract too much. Here's a picture of the headstock, and again, you can see some faceting here that really could be fixed up if smoothing worked a little bit better for me. I won't comment on my guitar strings or anything, but it looks somewhat realistic. And again, I see a little bit of faceting in the tuning pegs or whatever you'd call them. You can see it here and here, definitely here. But it still looks cool, and I'm still happy that I was able to go from the drawing to a final product. So that's my guitar. Actually, let's look at it a little bit closer. I forgot to zoom in on these things. I'm obviously still enamored with these shiny materials, not overly realistic, but it still looks pretty to me. And some of these renders, I guess I didn't do at a high enough sample size, or maybe I got to work on my lighting a little bit. But that's the guitar, and it's been a lot of fun to do it, and I look forward to the next guitar. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.